of my friends, but she's my mom, and, truth be told, I kinda like the nickname after all these years. "What do we have?" I ask as I climb into the truck. "A 13-year-old mare down in Albany. Owner went to bring her in from pasture for the night and noticed she was severely bloated and seemed to be having problems breathing. Too many causes to choose from." I zip up my sweatshirt and pull my hood on. It seems cold for a late August night, or maybe that's just me. I always tend to be a bit chilly. Mom glances at me through weary blue eyes as she punches in the address on the GPS. "That's why I'm bringing you." I nod and reach into the back seat to scavenge for a Diet Pepsi among the vet reports, bandages, books, junk food, dog leashes, and dog toys. Professionally speaking, my mom can detail a report to clients like nobody's business, but she tends to be less focused and orderly when it comes to this truck and our house. Way less focused. I try to pick up the slack on these things. "Want one?" I hold up the soda can. I was actually up working on some reports and had a couple of cups of coffee to keep me going. I just had a feeling about tonight. "Why were you still awake?" I shrug. "Don't know, just couldn't sleep. Because I'm secretly scared to death and can't stop obsessing about leaving home." "What's up with this woman just calling us now if her horse is this sick? I mean, wouldn't she have brought her in from the pasture in the early part of the evening?" When I asked her what time she brought her in, she said it was only an hour ago. "And it's 1 o'clock in the morning?" I say, noticing the clock on the dashboard. Something tells me she may have been out on a late night and just forgot about her horse. Oh, she's one of those. Careful, Vivi. We pull up to a small, worn-out house with a ramshackle barn in the back. There are 3 horses in one of the corrals and a decent-sized pasture. Mom pulls up next to the barn. Its dim light casts shadows on the hard-packed ground. I grab a flashlight. "Hi, Ms. Harris. I'm Dr. Taylor. This is my daughter, Vivienne," my mom says to a skinny, overly bleached blonde woman. I take note of a deep sadness in the horse owner's dark eyes, detectable even in this weak lighting. "Oh, you can call me Rebecca. I got your number from my neighbor, Gary Ferguson, a few miles up the road. He says you're the best. Thank you for coming out so late. You think she's colicking?" Colic tends to be the initial go-to guess for most backyard horse owners. It's an easy assumption, but not always correct. Horses have this delicate digestive tract, and when they get stomach aches, they can't puke. Instead, they roll on the ground, seeking some kind of relief. But the scary thing is that when they roll, their intestines can twist, and that can kill them. Colic surgery is expensive, and if the condition isn't caught early enough, the consequences are deadly. "Has she been rolling?" Mom asks. "No, just been down," the woman says, her voice all shaky and her eyes filling with tears. "You gotta help her." Mom touches her on the shoulder. "I'll do whatever I can." The other 3 horses watch us, all of them sensing something bad. I face them for a few seconds and nod. I close my eyes briefly and take in a deep breath. My mother is a healer. We are here to help. One of the horses, a little paint, bobs his head once and then lowers it to the ground. In the shadow of the light, I notice him pawing the ground for several seconds. Then he begins to lick and chew on his mouth, an act of submission. He understands me. He knows what I've told him. I see the mare on the ground, frothing at the mouth. This isn't good. Rabies? Her belly is completely distended, and there's a familiar, rotten, sweet smell in the stall. Diarrhea. My mother kneels near her head and strokes her face. "It's okay, mare." "What's her name?" I ask Rebecca. "Summer." Mom places her stethoscope over the area of Summer's heart. "Vivi, come here. See what you get from this." Mom moves to the mare's rear end to take her temperature. A few seconds later, she says, 104. Could mean an infection, or maybe a virus. Mom sucks in a deep breath and